Hey, what's up, guys? Good to be back with you again. I don't know if you watched the video I had earlier today or not, but we kind of have a problem on our hands. The problem on our hands is named Toi Maile, and he's really good. So while I was going through the little stuff that you do in between videos here, this media report came up. Media hail young Maile's performance. Journalists have rushed to lavish praise on immense Toi Maile after his latest performance drove his team forward in PanSa's convincing 4-1 FFAS Senior League victory over Pago Youth. One report stating that the young 15-year-old striker is beginning to show maturity for PanSa, which belied his age. Maile has looked to build on his growing reputation for PanSa this season, leading the club's goal-scoring chart with 19 goals so far this term. Yeah, it's not just the club that he's leading, by the way. So if we go over here to competitions and we look at what's happening, he is tied for the lead in goals in the league with Petu Poli. Now, you would normally think this isn't a problem at all. This is a great thing, right? So this guy is a fairly good player. We look at Maile. We look at his development and the progress he's made. He's starting to actually make some progress. This isn't like amazing or world-beating, right? And we probably shouldn't expect that it's going to be absolutely wonderful. I mean, with the fickle personality, his professionalism level is not really going to be that high, right? His media handling style is media friendly, which also means that his professionalism level is not going to be that high. We can't look at this guy and expect him to be like an absolute world-class player that's going to stay with us forever, but he's definitely more than good enough for this level. Now, I'll tell you the reason why. It's his fitness and this acceleration and the fact that he has at least some kind of balance for this level and for this type of league, and also his anticipation. That means that he's just going to be an all-star. You'll notice that, so these are just using these little dots, right? I don't know what the numbers are, but if I can find this here, yeah, you'll notice his finishing is not great, long shots is not great, technique is not great. It doesn't need to be. All he has to be able to do is run behind the defenders, which is what he does. Then he gets open shots on goal and scores 19 goals doing that, right? That's how he gets this. He's a maestro in moving forward. He is a target striker and is dominant in the air, and he's also an elusive and clinical striker, a volume scorer who outperforms expectations. Absolutely. So that's all great, right? Where's the problem? Why am I even making this video? Well, I'll tell you where the problem is. The problem comes from the transfers, right? So these transfers cost us zero, absolutely nothing. We have not paid a cent for any single one of these transfers. Don't believe me? Look over here and you'll see it. Right, our balance goes up because there's nothing to spend money on. We have a transfer budget of zero, a wage budget of zero. We're a completely amateur side. All right. So when we go back over here to the transfers, now you can understand the reason why I'm like, hey, there's a good player. He wants to join our club. Yeah, we'll take him. But there's a problem in that we're going to have a number of players come forward that can also play in the striker role. We have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that are going to join the team. Now, not all of them are going to stay, but once they come on, we'll take a look at them and we'll see if Maile can possibly play together with Petu Poli or not. These guys have amazing scouting report numbers. Petu Poli is tied with Maile for the most goals in the league. And you also have guys like Mark Tagai, who is extremely consistent and who had told me he gave an A+ to and said sign him as a priority, and on and on and on. I could go on for days and days talking about this, but it's going to create a problem for us. Look, I know that we need help in midfield, which is why we have a bunch of midfielders. We also need help in the back. We have a whole bunch of defensemen. We need to get more defensive midfielders, and we don't really have many, and some of these guys are probably going to end up being changed to be defensive midfielders, like this 18-year-old, right? But up front, we don't really have a problem, and we have a lot of solutions to a problem that doesn't exist coming in, including a number of guys who who were signed on free transfers as they have no club, who look much better than Maile, looking at this, and who have more caps than him. All right. So this is the question, which is, what do we do? How do we solve this problem, right? Now, I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to continue to try to develop Maile as much as possible. I want to give him as much game time as possible. But honestly, after looking at some recent matches, I'm thinking instead of having the attacking midfielder, what we should have, an attacking central midfielder, that is, what we should look at doing is probably a two-striker setup. And that's probably what we're going to push forward here as the time goes on. So I'll show you here in our tactics exactly what it is I'm talking about. The way that it's set up right now, we have this shadow striker role. So Peyton Milani has it. He scored 2 goals in the most recent match, right? And it works because we do have players like Peyton Milani, but we might end up even trying another trying to create like another tactic or something, and maybe trying to move these guys forward into something a little bit more like this, and maybe move this guy over to the side, or I don't know what we'll do. We'll figure out a way to kind of figure out a different sort of tactical approach so that we can end up having both players playing the way that they should. So now that I've completely screwed everything up, of course, we're not going to win any more matches. I think that I can't remember if he was an advanced forward, pressing forward. I'll go back and look it up. But that's sort of what the idea is, to try to allow ourselves to have two strikers here in the future, which in theory should allow us to take some of these other players and actually play them. I don't know exactly what that's going to mean for these guys who want to play in central midfield. It's possible that we'll have two tactics at once, or we may just completely forget about that and say, well, whatever, we're just going to score goals, and that's what the point of the game is. Anyway, I don't know. You might have some ideas. You might have some thoughts on this. I'm not really that good at tactical creation. I would love to know what your theories and thoughts are on the matter, and we can talk together and sort of figure this out. So let me know down below what you think. And yeah, this is a good problem to have on our hands, isn't it? Talk to you later. Bye.